You really think the saga of Jimmy Garoppolo ends here? Whenever we think it's over, it's just getting started. Your dad would say, think like an English major. All right, I've been thinking about this. If Jimmy beats Aaron Rodgers in this game, he might be coming back next year. Because think about it. Then his camp could say, well, the 2 seasons that he's been healthy and a full-time starter, and it's a championship. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. If he wins this game, he will be back next year. I honestly think so.
I think so too.
The only way he's not back next year is if they can flip him for a first. Because
I don't think they can.
Well, right now they might have a second for him. They might have upgraded themselves to a second. And if he wins this game, they definitely get a second for him. But maybe they get some of those hungry teams out there that have new regimes, that need a quarterback, a bridge quarterback, a starting quarterback, whatever you want to call him. And they're able to flip him for more. It depends on the capital they get back. But first round is going to be really hard because of his injury history. And the fact that he has the thumb and the shoulder going into the playoffs, that's really, Jimmy is punctuating his career with a period right now.
That's right.
Instead of a comma.
No, an exclamation point. Like, you're in injury prone. Boop. Like, oh, he's trying to say,
double exclamation point.
Injured. You're injured again. This is your 5th injury in your last, 25 games, something like less than that. I mean, it's just waiting to happen at this point. But if he does beat the Packers, I don't see how the Niners can. It's just a lot of pressure on Trey. Because again, if the Niners go to the NFC Championship with Jimmy, then they're saying, okay, well then we're gonna go to the Super Bowl, and Trey Lance's first year as a starter, it's a lot of pressure on him. I don't think they want to do that to him. But anyway, be interesting to see. But what I want to say is I've never seen a quarterback win a playoff game and have his trade value go down in the same day. I've never seen it happen. But I think Jimmy did that.
It's very possible because anyone who was watching that game knows that the Cowboys melted down. They had 14 penalties that I believe it either ties or sets their team record for a playoff game. Yeah. They led the NFL in penalties, so it was nothing. They did stupid things like back-to-back false starts. Yeah. They were tackling our tackles instead of the running back. Right. I mean, I've never seen a worse coached unit in my life than the way Dallas played that game. Yeah. When I was sitting there watching that game, I was like, so Dallas is better to Deebo Samuel. If you look at the rest of our wide receivers, they're better at their receiver core. They aren't better at running back. They are much better at quarterback. I think they had a better defense all around. They forced the ball. They have a much better special.
They couldn't get the ball to CeeDee Lamb, Sybilla. Couldn't get the ball. You see what Troy Aikman said?
No, I did not. What did he say?
He said, man, I don't understand coaches these days. He's like, if I was a quarterback, if that was our day, CeeDee Lamb would have had 10 catches by halftime. They were playing off him, but Kellen Moore is like so obsessed with scheming guys open. It's like, man, you got CeeDee Lamb one-on-one against whoever that cornerback is. Would you give him a chance? Troy Aikman went off on Kellen Moore.
What I saw from Dak Prescott is really what I saw from Mac Jones in his season, and that's that they were waiting for guys to be open rather than throwing them open.
Right.
You have to throw with strategy as a quarterback. It's not about scheming them open all the time. When you have a cannon like Dak Prescott, let him challenge the corners. And the other thing is we lead the NFL in pass interference. Why not let us decide our own fates? You know what I mean?
The only concern I would have with Trey is him taking 2 quarters to get going. They can't have a 3-point half. Jimmy had a 3-point half too.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah.
Jimmy had
a 3 and out in the first quarter turns into a touchdown for Aaron Rodgers.
Who's going to have a better first half? The guy who practiced all week or the guy who didn't practice and has 2 injuries? I mean,
so there's a point there. Yeah, there's a point there. And then the other point, the reciprocal of that is who's going to have a better first half? The guy who is in the system and has the experience, or the guy who has played 3 football games in the last year and a half, 2 years?
It's not a good decision. It's not a good place to be in.
But the Niners have put themselves in this position. They went, instead of going all in, they went all out with Trey Lance.
But again, Sybilla, like the Niners aren't going to win this game because of their quarterback. They're going to lose.
No, it's going to be the run game. It absolutely is. It will be the run game, and because we come up with 4 sacks.
So what I'm thinking here is not which quarterback is going to win the game, but which quarterback is less likely to lose it. And I think that Jimmy is a arsonist deep down inside, and that Trey's not. So I'm not thinking like I don't need Trey to go out there and be freaking 20-25 or 4 touchdowns. Like, nah, dude, just be 6 of 8 with no interceptions, please, and run 10 times. That's what I'm saying.
He already demonstrated to the Packers what he can do.
Yeah.
With that rush into the end zone, and what was it? Was it Jair Alexander got absolutely beast moded by Trent Williams?
Believe so.
Yeah, we do need to turn this into a run game. So basically, what we're saying here is that we feel that Trent would or Trey Lance would be a better starter.
Yeah, because to me, I feel like the Niners can win the game just doing exactly what they did 2 years ago. They can run the ball 45 times and win. It's not about their quarterback. The only thing that concerns me this week is Jimmy losing the game, even when they're running the ball well, playing good defense, and they're asking him to do nothing. I mean, he still finds ways to throw picks and mess things up in the fourth quarter. I'm worried about him losing the game. And I guess I would understand people being like, well, what about Trey? It's a big stage. I see it. It's a tough spot for the Niners. Still, it's a good spot that they have these running backs.
The other thing is, too, Colin Kaepernick ran over Aaron Rodgers before, and it wasn't about his arm. It was about his legs. And Trey Lance, perhaps he can do the same.
I'm going to say something crazy, too. I can't prove it, but I think Trey Lance would have blown out the Cowboys. I think he would have. I can't prove it, though.
So the wide open miss to Ayuk, the stupid shift, and the interception. Trey Lance would have thrown an interception, but he would not have missed. I just don't think he would have missed Ayuk. That was a layup. That was a layup. To miss that pass took effort.
And that was the original play that would have put the nail in the coffin that did. I mean, and
that's what put Fred Warner out there for his little boo-boo that he apparently needs some ice cream for. But anyway.
Also, I'm good with the Trent Williams motion. If you watch the replay, Dallas D-line started shifting as well, giving JG that opening, got to execute. Yeah, to me, I'm sure Kyle had a good reason for it. And like, dude, Jimmy, you got to be able to execute a shift with the game on the line. You're supposed to be, icing. You're supposed to be like Jimmy Ice. Yeah, cool, calm, and collected. Franchise quarterback. Got a little excited with the game on the line. That can't happen. Are you familiar with?
No, go ahead. They should have been in cruise control.
Are you familiar with Eric Thomas, the motivational speaker? Google him. Ever since he was in the 49ers building, the D-line has been even more on fire. I'll check him out. Are you familiar with him?
I know who Eric Thomas is, but I did not know the Niners. So that's cool.
I'll probably recognize his face if I saw it. What if the injury is to throw off the pack fake? So he's not practicing just to throw off the pack. That's 40 chess.
Yeah, that I get the point. So Jimmy Garoppolo probably doesn't tell the press everything because Kyle Shanahan has told him to zip it. So there's that element. But the injury is real. Him not practicing is not in our favor. Even if you wanted to split first team reps, some strange dissemination of reps. But the fact of the matter is him not practicing is not strategy. It's injury.
Jimmy Garoppolo is serviceable when he's fully prepared. When he's not, he's a liability. That's the word. It starts with an L, liability. Jake says, even though Trey is not ready, they need to play him. He can do everything Jimmy can and more. He can stress the D deep. Anyway, great content, you two. Thank you.
Love it.
Jake's on Team Trey. Team Lance.
So far, everyone wants Lance, and I can understand why.
I think Jimmy gives
people... Let's not hold it against him.
Watching the Niners right now is torture. Remember the Giants back in the day? Like Jimmy is the relief pitcher, the pitcher that like loads the bases every inning and then gets out of it. It's like, did you have to put guys on second and third? Did you have to walk the leadoff batter every freaking inning?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's dramatic. Jimmy Garoppolo is like, really is. He's like Spike TV. That's really what it comes down to. By the way, that was the most watched wild card game in I think 7 years, like 45.1
all because Jimmy Garoppolo kept the drama going. All because of Jimmy.
Yeah, because everyone was texting. Do you see what this guy is doing?
Jimmy's like, I can hit Ayuk and just put this game away in the third quarter, but then the ratings would go down. I need to do this for the league. That's why he missed Ayuk. It was for the league. It was so everyone could make money. He's a businessman.
Very charitable. Very nice of him.
Jimmy G's quarterback rating in the fourth quarter of his 4 playoff games is 19.4, worse than the NFL in 30 years. That stat is courtesy of Josh Dubow with AP. That's true. That is a man who is not up to the moment. I'm telling you.
Well, maybe he's just a starting pitcher. You should take him out in about the seventh inning.
That's right. He can give you maybe six innings.
Yeah, but he's like a long reliever.
Can't wait to see Jimmy without Kyle's offense. Yeah.
Well, that is a great comment, and that could be a whole show in itself. But we have said it all season long. Kyle Shanahan is his Band-Aid. He schemes guys open. He slows it down. He has a great O-line. He has a great run game. These are things that can make any quarterback look good.
Robert says, seems like most people in the Cohn zone are pro Trey. I don't see this as much outside of the Cohn zone. Grant influencing and selling that narrative. Well, I just feel like the viewers of this show are just a little bit more
erudite, intelligent,
enlightened. Yeah, that's right. So I don't know.
Actually, there's another reason for that. As a fan, you have two kinds of fans. One who's just a fanatic, doesn't want to hear that the world is about to end. Yeah. And then you have the fans that are like, I love my team, but what's the real scoop. And that's and the people who just want to drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
When they want to drink the Kool-Aid, they go to somewhere else.
That's true. Because the Kool-Aid drinkers are like, I love the team and I want to celebrate every decision they make because everything they do is right. And the people here are like, I love the team, but everything they do is not right. We know what the Yorks have been doing since 2003. We're going to help them make the right decision because they're quite not. That's where we are all quality control. Quality control is a way of life, right?
Absolutely.
It's a way of life. As much as I would love to play Trey, it's not the right time as I think it's lack of mental preparation, although he definitely has the talent to win. I hear you. It's really not fair to be like, hey, Trey, we told you you weren't ready all year, but
yeah, Neil's right.
Now it's time. NFC Championship game, you're ready. Like, whoa, that's kind of messed up. But at the same time, dude, your starting quarterback's hurt. How many injuries does Jimmy Garoppolo have to have before you say, you know, this is why we brought in our backup quarterback, so we don't have to play injured Jimmy, who isn't good? I don't know. It's a tough one. Not my decision to make.
Exactly. It's one of those things where no one should ask Trey Lance to do this, but we may have to. So we'll see.
Yeah, Gio says, I'm worried about the departure of D'Amico McDaniel. SF is the only team in the NFL with 3 head coaches in-house. This is their window, but Jimmy caps them. Yeah! Yeah! Wow, good point.
That's a really good comment. D'Amico Ryans, he'll be here for another year or two. I think, honestly, 2. I really do.
It's not right. He's good.
Yeah.
Because, again, I want to come back to race, but if he was white, I'm sorry. He has the Mike Vrabel resume. Vrabel was a coordinator for 1 year. His defense ranked like 30th or something. Boom. Head coach. D'Amico, coordinator for 1 year, defense ranks 3rd. People are like, we're going to have to see a little bit more.
Exactly.
Why?
Now,
Why?
I will say this. As far as his career path, like Salah, I do think it behooves him to spend another year or 2 here. I think it makes him better. Sure. I look at someone like, say, Dan Quinn. You look at guys like Brian Flores and everything like that. You know, a lot of guys who just got head coaching jobs so early and they just didn't adapt to it in the first few years and it just did not work out. It's just, I feel like
leaders are natural leaders, and that's Vrabel and that's D'Amico in my opinion. Those guys are natural.
Right. D'Amico is special. There's no doubt. D'Amico fell from the Salah tree. You can tell. Yeah. It's really
he was a leader on the field. He was a leader. I mean, he's excelled at every level of football, from playing to quality control to position coach. Like, he's really paid his dues. Anyway, what I wanted to say was the Cardinals, if they were smart, would fire Cliff Kingsbury and hire D'Amico McDaniel.
Coach.
Terrible.
They would absolutely. He's a terrible coach.
And bring in D'Amico McDaniel, because what the Cardinals lack is physicality. They don't have it. They're like Madden. They're a Madden team, and that's because of Cliff. Bring in these 2 guys and then add that to Hopkins and Kyler Murray. That team would be a contender right there. So, and also, don't forget about the Cardinals. I picked them to win the Super Bowl and they fell off, but they were 8-2 with DeAndre Hopkins. The Niners, what would the Niners be without Debo?
They fell apart at the end, though.
Yeah, it's true, but like, this was the first
time
that
the head coach
Hopkins ever missed time. This was the first
time that head coach
ever missed time. Yeah, no, they got to fire that dude. Forget that.
Yeah, I've been saying it since he was there. He's terrible.
Please, all you Jimmy fans defending him as Jimmy Jesus. No, not on my watch. More like Jimmy Judas. Watch clips of Montana and Young. That is our standard. Drop back, throw middle, give me a break. Jimmy Judas. You know what? I think it has a certain ring to it. I like it.
Oh, no.
I'm quite religious too. So if he says that, Sean is, I think, the most Christian person on the channel. I'm just saying. So I'll allow it. I mean, if he'll allow it, I'm going to say it. Jay Rico says against Dallas, our first drive.
Jimmy was called years ago.
What?
There were fans who were calling Jimmy Garoppolo or Messiah like 3-4 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Jimmy Jesus. That was a little over the top. Against Dallas, our first drive only had 1 second down, and then we scored. Do you think we can script our first drive like that against – so the first drive was Kyle at his best. Second drive, passes. More passing, and then field goal. Can you stop passing, Kyle? You're allowed to run all the time. It works.
Yeah, he definitely gets cute at the end of games. Like he's like, okay, I've got you beat. Now I want to humiliate you.
Yeah. It's like just put the game away and win 23-10.
The most humiliating thing is when you win.
Giving up.
And that's what humiliates the other team. Yes. Don't do this passing.
Is Jimmy's injury more gamesmanship at this point to make Green Bay prep for 2 quarterbacks?
No.
I don't think.
No, it's real.
It's real. I mean, like, we're going to have Jimmy not practice this week just to throw off Green Bay. Like, no, Jimmy needs practice time. His track record without practice is bad. So this is the Niners being like, well, You know, at least Green Bay won't know who we're going to – they're like trying to – it's a silver lining here. Like, we don't know who our quarterback is going to be, but at least they won't either.
Exactly.
Trey Lance played in Fargo. It's cold as hell there. Play the kid. Yeah, but it was indoors. But I'm sure he played, some games.
The other thing is Jimmy Garoppolo knows how to play in the cold. I will give him that.
Yeah, I would think so. It's true. He's from Chicago, which is very cold. What's good, guys? What side dish would Jimmy G Khaled be? We know Debo defense and run game are the 5-course meal. Okay, Jimmy G is the green bean casserole of the Thanksgiving dinner. That's Jimmy Garoppolo. The green bean casserole. I don't know why people say it's their favorite dish, but they're lying.
No.
He's the green bean casserole.
That's because, like, it's somebody's aunt or uncle or mother or father made it, and it's a family recipe, but it's garbage. It was garbage in 1902, and it's no good today.
Thank you. Justin says, will Lance pull a Kyler if he plays in Green Bay? He's proven to show stress till he calms down. Will he live up to the moment? It's hard. Good question. But what I'm saying is I would trust 21-year-old Trey Lance to be more cool, calm, collected, and have a higher football IQ than Jimmy. I know that there's you can be nervous about Lance because he's young. I'm nervous about Jimmy. Him being 30 doesn't seem to help him. Him having experience in the playoffs doesn't seem to help him. He still isn't ready for the moment. So maybe there's no right answer here. But again, I think the Niners can win handing off. So I just want a quarterback who doesn't lose the game. Is that so hard? Is that so much to ask? I think it's a lot to ask from Jimmy, though. I think it's a lot to ask from Jimmy. It's not his game. He's a terrible game manager. He's a terrible game manager.
Absolutely agree. Yep.
Debo runs to the outside would be more effective with the threat of Lance keeping it up the middle. It would hold linebackers for an extra second. Agree.
Yep, absolutely. That's kind of what you're saying. If he goes into this game, it's going to be a run-heavy game. And I'll say this. I don't think he does come out and lay an egg. I think Kyle Shanahan draws up the best RPO, play action, screen pass, keep everything short of 10 yards, and then he schemes Ayuk open on a deep route or Jawan Jennings in a red zone pass or something like that. I really think the game plan for Trey Lance would be lethal, especially against Green Bay. We would just punch them right in the mouth.
Andy says Trey's athleticism alone opens up the run game 1,000 times more, which is how we beat Green Bay 2 years ago. If Jimmy Garoppolo starts, how short of a leash will he be on? I think it should be extremely short, but we've seen that he has the longest leash of all time.
The other thing is Jimmy Garoppolo might come out in the first and the second quarter and be really good, like in Dallas. But then in the third quarter, you'll start to see things kind of come apart. And then, that 19 QBR in the fourth quarter? Then that will come out. So you don't change your quarterback in the fourth quarter. That's the issue.
Jimmy is the unsweetened Jell-O auntie used to bring. Ooh, that's just... My aunt never brought unsweetened Jell-O. That's sad. Rank them. Wentz, Jimmy G, Baker.
I mean, I'd have to go right now. I'd have to go Jimmy G, Baker, and then Wentz.
I know. My thing with Jimmy is he doesn't throw the ball down the field. He turns the ball over too much. You can't trust his football IQ. Jimmy's football IQ is shockingly low. But to me, those three are all in the same
for a
tier.
guy who seems smart in an interview, he's really not that smart.
Look, I'm not commenting on
Cosmo Kramer. No, I don't find him that bright.
I have no idea. But all I know is his football IQ seems to be lower than any quarterback I've seen in a long time. But I don't think anything of Wentz and Baker either. I think those three are basically overpriced starters that you'd rather not have. All three of them.
Yeah, I think Wentz was a bad move for the Colts. I think Baker has shafted the Browns. I think Jimmy G has propped the Niners, but he's like a crutch. And we're limping along with him. He's
playing like Trent Dilfer right now. And I don't know if in 2000 in Baltimore, people were saying, God, Trent Dilfer is the reason we're winning. We got to keep him around. I think it was pretty clear back then that they were winning in spite of Trent Dilfer. And now, just because Jimmy Garoppolo looks like a movie star, people think that he's actually contributing. He's just doing the Trent Dilfer thing. Trey should have started since Houston. Jimmy was hurt, inevitable, and now we may have to throw Trey in the fire without those reps the last 2 weeks. That's how I feel. The dude was hurt. Jimmy's been hurt, and he didn't play well in LA or Dallas. So I don't see what the benefit of playing hurt Jimmy was, but hey, I don't know, man. Maybe Trey Lance would have blown it. We'll never know. We'll never know.
So basically, you're saying at this point, the sample of Jimmy Garoppolo the last 3 weeks has been bad football.
Yeah. 5 picks, 2 touchdowns, 5 picks the last 3 weeks. And his fans will say well, he had a couple throws here on third down that, enabled the rest of the game to happen. No. He was the reason that those games were close. Yeah.
And I think the 49ers are going to end up going with him because it's the status quo. Yeah. I really do. There's just, it's one of those things where, well, this is the way it's done. The book of football says to play Jimmy. And I think they're just railroad decision. I don't even think they will even have to make a decision.
I agree. But if Jimmy Garoppolo just happens to be hurt and they just happen to have to play Trey Lance like they did against Houston, might be for the best. Might be for the best. Because again, the game plan is to throw 8 passes. It's not about the quarterback. It's just about don't throw an interception. That's your goal. That's your job in this game as a quarterback. Do not throw an interception because Rodgers won't. He's not. I mean, Dak did. Stafford did. Rodgers won't.